I should be like you, Melvin.
Ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Cherries fans from around the world, wherever you are watching this evening. Welcome back to another edition of Cherry Slaps, and welcome my co-host as always, Malcolm Chiverton. How you doing?
Ollie, good evening, everybody. Yep, all good, thanks. Yeah, good. Sorry about last week.
A couple of issues in the last few weeks, but not tonight. So let's focus on the good, because what a controversial game we've got to discuss, or seen in some eyes, should we say. From Friday night. Don't we love a bit of Friday night football? Game ended 2-2, leaving us 13th in the table, but we're going to discuss some other Premier League games as well, leading us to that point. But let's get underway. As always, Malcolm's going to take us in with the lineup.
Yeah, well, the starting line was really good, wasn't it? I was really impressed with, let's just say, Rayan going on to the right, which I thought, judging by his last couple of appearances, was the right move. Mm-hmm. The question is, should Ever started up front? Should Krupi start up front? I mean, it's all open to debate. It's, opinionated, a lot of it. But I think, I'd only got the right call. Obviously, with the players that are out, with injuries, obviously Adams and Lewis Cook. So more or less the team did pick itself. Mm-hmm. Well, I thought, pretty decent starting lineup, and United pretty much predictable how they would start, bearing in mind what Mr. Carrick has done since he's come in. More than steadied that ship and got them up to Champions League qualification level, which is, to be honest with you, I mean, you got to take your hat off. Sorry, Ollie, you got to take your hat off to him. Didn't see it happening, to be honest with you. And it is more or less the same set of players, isn't it?
Yeah, so, absolutely. Yeah, just obviously managed in an entirely different way, right? And you can, as you said, huge transformation. I think at one point they were 17th in the league at the start of the season.
Yeah. So obviously it was going to be a toughie. It would have been nice to have another 4-4, wouldn't it? But having said that, we always give United a good game.
Yeah.
And it's generally a very open game. I don't know. It's one of those anomalies that you cannot explain it why every time we play a game against Man United is end to end.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. Is Friday's first half is really hard to kind of give an overview on, right? It was so quick paced.
It wasn't bad, was it?
It was good. No, it was a good watch of football for sure.
Yeah.
But there was so much going on, you know. It was a real fast open start. I mean, United looked dangerous, obviously, but immediately Bournemouth were threatening on corners, which, as you said, made it look kind of a cagey game. Both sides had chances in the first 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Petrovic made some banging saves, yeah.
I mean, he pulled off a couple in the first half, were really, really good.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, first half for me, neither team was clinical enough. It's as simple as that. They both had some good chances. They both definitely could have slotted away. It was odd it went into half-time 0-0 for me, for my opinion.
It was, yeah.
I mean, do give me any more thoughts on it before we go into the second half than that, because the second half for me is obviously where it all starts to go.
We couldn't foresee what was going to be coming, could we, in the second half? But the first half, there were really a couple of standout moments for me was from United's perspective, because when they attacked, you know, they were obviously, you know, going for it. Was Petrovic's, I think it must have been his third save with his foot from Bruno Fernandes. Really excellent stop. Reactionary, really. And also the flowing movement where Rayon got in.
Yeah.
He was put through, wasn't he, in the first half? And once again, good save from the United keeper. Excellent stuff. It's really, really, like I said, end to end. And although the chances were there, they weren't, from both sides, obviously not clinical enough. But it come to life in the second half.
Didn't it? Bloody hell, crikey. Just want to hit some comments up before we go into it. Chris Hubble,
you know, Chris
says should have won that game against Man United. Yeah, we'll come to that in a moment and opinions on Chris. Irish Red Devils, I think due to be joining us soon. He says that we've got an echo. It does sometimes happen. I think it's from Malcolm's side when he doesn't wear his headphones, but we can try.
Do you want me to put mine on? I can put them in.
You go for it, yeah. See if that works. He also says he's at the MOT centre, so he'll be with us shortly. Go on the right, Malcolm. Yeah, we got that, mate. Nice one. Appreciate that. While you put your headphones in, obviously second half.
So
there was it's better, I think. At least a little bit for now, but that's okay. We'll crack on for now. Second half, obviously, usually we have one of these first halves where we'd expect a goal. It's a bit cagey. It's a bit end to end. Sound. Appreciate that, Red Devils. And we go into the half time thinking that we should be making some subs, right? But this time, I absolutely didn't think that. Were you of the same mind?
Yeah, I didn't think there was any reason to change it up at all.
No.
Well, for those that are watching, listening, Ollie and I actually followed the game together using a video chat, and we both said, okay, second half will come on out. We saw the same lineup, so there won't be any subs at least till maybe 60, 65 minutes.
Yeah, so, and I think there was only two players that were not causing concern, should I say, but two players who I thought weren't performing as on par. And one of them was Tav, wasn't it? And I forget who the other one was. I think the other one, I moaned about, was it, Jimenez or Christie? I think I moaned about Christie, and then immediately he put me to rights.
Yes, he did.
As soon as I said it. And then Jimenez. But Jimenez also came off, if I remember rightly. So,
right.
So obviously we're going into the second half. Matt says, hey, hope you both well. Enjoying the chat as I drive home. Hey, Matt.
Home safely. Keep your eye on the road. Hi, Matt.
Going into second half, it's still absolute chaos for the start of the second half. Back and forth. United are awarded a penalty in the 60th minute, right? And I think this is the moment that it really starts. The next 30 minutes are turbulent, to say the least, right?
Mental, I would call it.
Bruno Fernandes, obviously, calm as ever, decent penalty, sends Petrovic the wrong way, and takes United to 1-0. And then what a response. Talk us through the next few minutes.
Well, first of all, on the first penalty, it was clear cut. I mean, it was a no-brainer, wasn't it? I mean, we both said at the time that Jimenez, it was just so obvious, pulling Cunha's shirt back.
Yep.
Silly boy, really. I mean, he knew he'd done it, but I like the way some of the Bournemouth players actually got round him, and said, "Look, come on, don't let it get to you. Let's pick ourselves up and go again." I mean, we all know what Bruno does with his penalty kicks. He misses very, very few. Top class. And I wouldn't say it's hard to decide. At that moment, was it again? Was it deserved? I suppose it would be.
Absolutely, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I think the first one was without a doubt a penalty. Without a doubt.
So
we'll come to the next one when we get there. Definitely, but for sure that Jimenez, there was a clear cut silly mistake. I don't know whether it was in anger or whether he thought that he was maybe not in the box.
Well, he'd already gone past him, hadn't he, on the outside?
Yeah,
and he was tracking him back, but he just. I mean, obviously, Cunha is a clever player.
Yeah.
And he made sure that Jimenez wasn't going to come to his left or right.
Yeah.
So he obviously, had his body in the way, shielded the ball.
Yeah, clear cut for me. But then, as I mentioned before, right, immediate response. Bournemouth breaking quickly again. And punishing United, essentially stopping the game, slipping away, making it 1-1 with Ryan Christie.
Yeah, but you have to go back maybe half a minute.
Go on.
Because before we equalised, there was the incident with Trofeo.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and who was it? Iraola, wasn't it? Was it?
Yeah.
I
believe so.
When they had to come in together in the penalty box, and the referee didn't give anything at all. He let play go on, and then from that moment, we went down the other end. Trofeo was also involved, and he set up Ryan Christie.
Yep.
Who passed the ball, nutmegging Maguire in the process into the bottom corner. Right. And we're so used to seeing Ryan Christie blasting it, trying to go for power, but to actually see him do that and place it was really very clever.
Yeah, and again, made me eat my words, right? Because not too long before, I was maybe being a tad too critical, should we say?
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely right. Equalised with Ryan Christie, very well deserved. Played through the legs of Maguire, as you said. And then again, correct me if I'm wrong, but it takes us to 71 minutes when, unfortunately, James Hill's head gets in the way.
Yeah, I mean, okay, we'll go back to the controversial incident after that. Corner comes over, a slight flick off Senesi's head, and poor James Hill. I mean, he wasn't actually looking at the ball at the time, or where it was coming in. It just bounced off his head, side of his head, and into the goal. So a bit unlucky, really, from his point of view. But that's football; it happens, doesn't it? People say, "Oh, that's bad defending," but Was it? I don't think it was.
No, I don't think so. And I think these things can happen. I think there was chaos in the corner for a start. You know, as you said, it slipped off Senesi's head. It's flicked off James Hill's face. It was incredibly unfortunate. And I think a little bit of a gut punch, right? After equalising, and with the craziness of this 20 minutes that's now unraveling. And then we have even more craziness a couple of minutes later when Harry Maguire pulls down Eva in the box.
But once, go on.
A red card and a penalty, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's looking at it, it's from the 61st minute to the 78th minute or 81st by the time they finished discussing everything. So a 20-minute spell where an awful lot happened. I mean, it's a penalty, definitely.
Yeah, for sure, it's a penalty. Yeah.
Harry Maguire didn't attempt to play the ball, right? So I know maybe some refs outside the box wouldn't even give that as a foul. Others would. But because he was denied a goal scoring opportunity, that's why you give him a red.
Yeah, for sure. And I think I said this at the time, didn't I? When you quite rightly corrected me, as you've just said. And at the time, I said it's not too dissimilar from Jimenez's challenge. Both were a penalty, but it seems Maguire got the sore hand there. But you're right.
Yeah.
It was a goal-defying opportunity on a last-man challenge.
Yeah.
And then that's the difference, unfortunately. So yeah, fully agreed. And I think it's definitely caused some controversy because obviously Kroopy steps up in another huge pressure moment, and it's just an outstanding penalty to make the vitality erupt again and bring us to 2-2. Just a fantastic moment, a really fantastic moment, and I think that's why it's caused a little bit of controversy. Obviously, United a third, right? They really wanted another few points there. And I think it looks like we've stolen it off them a little bit, right? But
I think we deserved at least a draw.
Well, the thing is down to 10 men. They still didn't give it up, did they? It was a battle. No. Again, it was a chaotic battle with United hanging on and some big tackles and some more big moments and so even bigger appeals, like people really going for it for that last 10 minutes.
Must also mention, I forgot to mention it, I knew there was another incident I wanted to bring up in the first half. Was that absolutely amazing block from Trofeo?
Yeah.
Where he threw his body, to get a block in. I mean, things like that. That's what defenders do. It doesn't matter if it's, one of your wing backs or centre backs. It's what they actually do.
Yeah.
But for me, Trofeo he's having a blast. He really is having a great season and certainly earning the praises he's getting. So, but wow, what an entertaining spectacle!
Yeah, absolutely. Playing it out, no winner. Drama right to the end whistle. Finishes 2-2.
Yeah, we were going for it, weren't we? So
yeah, absolutely we were.
And what was I saying in the second half? 5-goal thriller.
Yeah, you did call that. Yeah, you called a 5-goal thriller, and it's unfortunate that. Well, unfortunate in some eyes that it didn't end up a 5-goal thriller because it could have been us very easily, couldn't it? But at the same time, it also could have been United. I think we're happy to take a point from it. Still unbeaten. 11 games now, I believe.
Yeah.
11. Look, it'd be fantastic to get 3 points on the board. I think, obviously, with a couple of results that happened this weekend, there's teams that have leapfrogged us a bit. We're down to 13th, but one win, and we're right back up into that middle table. We're nowhere near relegation. We're not in a battle, but there is a ton of teams really tight in that middle frame of the table. I think just coming back onto the game before we move on, obviously, there's a couple of things that I want to point out or discuss. Croupy is my first point of contact, right? He is always stepping up under pressure, and he's really growing into a serious figure. Like he's good at scoring. He's hungry for the goal. He works with his teammates. Don't get me wrong. At the moment, I think he's a fantastic super sub. And I'm interested to know how we get from super sub to starting 11 every week and him making the same impact that he does when he comes on as a sub.
I think it's a question of managing his minutes.
Yep.
Yes, it's a good idea to start him, to give him a try and see how it goes. And if it's not quite coming off, then it's not a bad thing to put him on the bench because we know what he can do when he comes from the bench. And give him some matches, sitting on the bench and bringing him on. I mean, we had this last season, didn't we, with impact players coming off the bench, and it was like when we're like, I wouldn't say struggling, but like when we need to change things up a little bit. Andoni's got this hand where he can actually pinpoint exactly where the changes need to come. I mean, that's his job anyway, and it works. And it doesn't matter who comes off the bench. Something will happen. Now, whether it works or not is another thing, but something will happen, and you can see chances being created or whatever it is, So I think maybe the next couple of games we'll see him start on the bench, and it's not a bad thing.
Yeah,
it's not a bad thing because they'll have fire in their bellies waiting to come on, won't they?
Yeah, and I was just about to say the next two games, I mean, they're not critical per se, but they're big games, right? Arsenal and Newcastle, both away, I believe.
Yep.
So not the easiest, but obviously spread apart. I think the Arsenal game's 5th of April, Newcastle game's 18th or 17th.
Yeah, crazy it is. Yeah.
So we've got a whole month and only 2 games. So we've got enough time here to be strategizing and training. There's a couple of things I just want to mention. So Paul from Oz, evening guys, here saying hi.
Hi Paul, thanks
evening.
for joining.
Absolutely. Chris says they're number 16, who is Diallo, that went down before Christie's goal.
Yeah.
It mentions that we had a great show. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Ray says thinks Tav wanted the penalty.
Maybe, but I mean, I didn't really pick up on that. My instant thought was Kruby was going to take it. I didn't think twice because I mentioned to you, didn't I, during our video, that he was banging penalties away for Lorient last season. So he's a pretty confident and assured penalty taker.
Yeah, for sure.
So I had no worries about it. So.
Yeah, nice. And then Christie and Scott, the next 2 biggest points, right? Energy, pressing. Obviously, Christie got the equaliser. Scott controlling phases of the game. Both of them completely calm in chaos and transitions, right? Is this now a new thing? Is Christie now cementing himself a little bit here? I know, look, I eat my words from what I was saying initially in that first half.
Yeah,
I take it. But is he now starting to get into the swing of things?
He's needed the game time to get back to where he was. It was a long layoff. Just remember, he's not as young as he was. I mean, he puts in the yards every game, no matter what. Sometimes things don't quite work. His vision is brilliant, but maybe sometimes, like when he came back into the team, obviously as a sub, he could manage those sort of 20, 25 minutes, whatever. That's fine. But to come in the starting 11 and try and push over 90 is a big step up, isn't it? So, but no, he's back to where he was. Now, it's really interesting. We've got 3 weeks now without a game,
Mm.
in which time Tyler Adams will be back.
And then we'll have an interesting team, an interesting lineup for Arsenal, for sure.
Right, so we will have him back. Possibly Lewis Cook might be back.
Yeah, maybe.
And I don't think Justin Kluivert's too far away either.
No.
So, and also to throw one extra in, Ben Gannon-Doak. Really good to see him come on.
Yeah,
I know it's only sort of 5 to 10 minutes, but he's back on grass, he's back on the pitch. And this 3 weeks obviously will help him. He'll be training and getting his speed up and everything else. So that's like, obviously he won't be playing for Scotland for whatever friendlies they've got. So yeah, it's going to be hell for leather the last 7 games.
Yeah, absolutely it is. John Bond says hello. Hey, John.
Hi, thanks for joining us.
Paul from Oz says Ryan Christie wants to play well with the cup coming.
World Cup, yeah.
And then Jerry says, what's this about? Well, this is the reaction show to Man United versus Bournemouth, but we're almost wrapping it up a little bit. And there is one more question I wanted to kind of give Malcolm and everyone else before we go. Obviously, before we get into the Premier League, should I say. 4 goals in 20 minutes, a red card, 2 comebacks. We didn't just kind of play United. We really went toe-to-toe with them, right?
Absolutely.
Is this kind of what we're seeing now a little bit in Bournemouth's identity? I mean, obviously there's certain teams that are able to shut us down and make it a dull game, but we are a little bit like chaos and resilience here, right? We like to create chaos and take advantage of that, right? And that's how we're playing against these bigger teams. Jerry says Bournemouth robbed. It can be looked at that way, mate, for sure. Is that the route that we're going down?
I think chaotic is the best way to describe us, because we don't have a really, when you compare, if you're watching a game of football and you compare us to maybe say a Fulham or I don't know, maybe a Brighton, just to throw a couple of teams in there. It is organised chaos, isn't it, what we play?
Yeah.
Whereas Fulham and Brighton, they're organised.
Yeah.
And
I think the other thing is,
the chaos.
Separate to our organised chaos, is our heads don't really seem to drop anymore like they used to. You know, like the tenacity and the resilience. As I said, I think that's the key word, resilience there. Like, it doesn't matter what happens. We seem to just want to keep biting at the goal, keep trying to get as much as we can. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think we used to be that kind of team. And that obviously must be Iraola's training and coaching. But it seems like these other teams kind of die with the chaos, whereas we seem to live in it.
Yeah.
Drive off it a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I think also, I mean, we have dropped off with this high press, you know, over long periods. So we sort of more or less say, right, okay, if you want the ball, you can have the ball. You know, that doesn't mean we're going to stop playing. But we'll say, okay, we'll do our thing, and we'll jump in and do the press when we want to.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously they get instructed from the touchline then when to go and when not to go. So, but yeah, just love it. It's entertaining. You got to say, you can't be disappointed with watching Bournemouth play.
No, absolutely not. And on that, we actually do have a guest in the background now, so we're going to get him on. And Stephen from the Irish Red Devils. Hey, how you doing?
Evening, boys. How's it going?
Not bad.
Good evening to you, sir.
You hear me okay?
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah.
I appreciate you finally getting here. I know you. Well, it seems like you've had a busy night.
Car past the MOT, so I'm happy to announce to the world.
Good. We've. I don't know. Have you heard the whole show? Have you heard the rundown?
I heard the first 10 minutes. I actually heard up until the Bruno Fernandes penalty, and then I haven't heard anything from then. So yeah, and that's actually the part that I'm really interested in hearing. So
but let's revisit it because obviously the penalty that we were saying against Bruno Fernandes from Jimenez, clear cut, silly mistake from Jimenez. No idea where that kind of behaviour's come from. He's lost his head clearly in a bit of moment of madness there, and a fantastic penalty from Fernandes. Give us the rundown of your next 10 minutes from your memory of it, because we've obviously given ours, and it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts on that crazy 20 minutes where there's 4 goals, a red card and some other controversial aspects.
Yeah, so we're actually recording our show at 8:30 tonight. We'll go out tomorrow. So I'm just looking at the notes because whenever I was watching the game, I was making notes just to remind myself. So, first of all, I thought it was a very good game. I thought it was an enjoyable game to watch on a Friday night, and I thought, like you said earlier on, it was back and forth, and both teams going at each other, and that's the type of football I like watching. What I have. We notes I have Cunha made a good play to draw the penalty, great penalty from Bruno. Then the next thing is obviously going to be a big topic of ours. VAR is going to be a topic on our channel tonight. To be honest, from a United fan point of view, where we saw it was 100% a penalty as much as the one on Bruno was. I think if the penalty hasn't been given a couple of minutes before, then it's a no-brainer for the ref, but I think he didn't want to give 2 penalties to United in close proximity. I think what probably he was hoping and United fans were expecting was that the play would go down the pitch and it would be out and there would be a check, and that would be his saviour. And then they go down, absolutely fantastic finish from the guy, really good goal, and then that was kind of like, okay, there's no way they're going to overturn that. But I think that was that. I think my understanding is that PGMOL came out afterwards and explained that the reason that there wasn't a penalty awarded was that there wasn't enough force or something in the contact. Which which doesn't make sense because it's either how do you measure force? You know what I mean? Listen, Ahmad can go down. Can go. He's not very big. He's a very small guy. He can go down lightly. I don't think in that particular one he did. And I think that we certainly here would always kind of call out players if we thought they were diving. I think there was enough contact in that for us to warrant a penalty. Just like with the Maguire penalty later on ahead, same thing. It was. There was as much contact in the Maguire penalty as there was in that one, and I think it was a stonewall penalty against Maguire as well. So, yeah. Well, what's your thoughts on that? Because what's your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah. Can I jump in, Ollie? Ollie and myself actually watched the game together on a video chat. And when Ahmad went down, and we shot up the other end, Ollie actually said they're going to call this back, disallow the goal and give the penalty. I mean, that was our thoughts as well. Yeah. So it's not as though, we're anti-Man United. We're not. We're football fans who like to watch football, all right, first and foremost. And we were both really surprised that there was no decision given for the penalty. Like you say, there was as much contact there. In fact, I would say there was more contact from Traffer on Ahmad as Maguire on Evan Nielsen. So a little bit surprised that he didn't give it. But why? I mean, if it's a foul, it's a foul. And just because they had a penalty 10 minutes earlier, that shouldn't even come into the conversation, should it?
Well, yeah, I think that's what VAR is meant to be doing. But I mean, it's. I mean, if that's true, that they said to United, there wasn't enough force in the contact. Well, that goes against what there's. If they're talking about everything being by the rules and doing everything by the rules, then you should be taking that into it. So it's kind of again, listen, it's the same in every game and every situation you see. It's just consistency you want to see.
That's right.
Yeah, it comes down to inconsistent refereeing, right?
Yeah,
used from both sides in the referees aspect. And you're right. Things could have been called differently in that game for sure. Things could have gone slightly differently, but I think at the end of the day, there should be set rules and a set criteria for a referee to follow, and one of those shouldn't be an assumption of force in a scuffle between two players. But there's definitely rules that should be followed, and it shouldn't be that inconsistent. I agree. One thing I wanted to know, Stephen, is from your point of view, or from Man United fans' point of view, are you disappointed to not come away with the 3 points? Do you feel like you guys?
Not in the end, no. I thought. I think for the entire game, if you look at it, I was quite happy at the end of the game to get the point. I think we could have easily come away with nothing. I thought it was I actually thought then with the rest of my notes here, I had justice kind of with the own goal being happened, but then in fairness, it was either I think both teams would be happy enough with the point. I think that both teams, I don't think either team deserved to lose the game, to be honest. And no, we came away and at the time, especially when Maguire got sent off, it was like, yeah, listen, let's see out the game, and they put on Ugarte, and he was trying his best to help you guys because he kicked the ball out for a corner in the dying end of the game, and there didn't seem to be any reason for that. It was like a panic kick. You should have just been kicking it out even for a throw. Yeah. But no, we'll take the point, and we're in a position where and it worked out for us in the end because Liverpool then dropped points, and so no, we're happy enough with. I mean, as happy as you can be, but
yeah, for sure, for sure. Paul from Oz says the way he landed on the ball was a giveaway, definitely a United penalty. Also mentions about the triple subs. When we go behind triple subs, mostly attackers in last throws of the game. Yeah, for sure. It was definitely, again, another set of clever substitutions. Again, from your point of view, Stephen, as a United fan, outside of Bruno Fernandes, was there anyone else that you think really kind of shone or stepped up, or do you think people should have performed better in that game against Bournemouth? How do you think overall, player-by-player basis?
Look, I think it's a very, very hard place to go, and I think I'm right in saying you've only lost 2 games there all season. Is that right? Yeah. And I think a ground like that, especially on an away night under the lights, Friday night, there's an extra player there on the pitch with the fans, and there seemed like a really good atmosphere. So I think you of course you could go through the United team and you could nitpick things there, but I don't think there was anyone who stood out as having like a dreadful game, or I was really pleased with Lemans as well, the goalie. I thought he's been such a rock coming into the United team, and we haven't had a good goalie since De Gea, and seemed like a lifetime. But just the confidence he's given United fans to be able to make a save, and he got a bit lucky too because there was the really screamer of a shot hit the post and then came off his back and could easily have gone in the net. You need a bit of luck as well. And no, listen, I don't. There's nothing really. Perhaps the guys when I get into it tonight. It seems like a long time ago. It was Friday night.
Friday,
since then. But yeah, no. I think, like I say, I was happy enough with the point in the end, and just the only disappointing for us now is that there's 21 days until United play again next, which is just it's not good for. I tell you what, it's not good for content creation anyway.
No, tell me about it. We were just mentioning this earlier, funnily enough. Look, I appreciate your answers and appreciate your transparency. Anyone watching, please go over and follow Stephen Irish Red Devils. Give him a watch. You say you're going to be on tonight live, or just...
No? We record it on a Monday night, and then it'll be out by about midnight. We stick it up tonight,
nice. Awesome.
And we kind of. We only started this like almost 5 months ago. So we kind of we have done some lives and kind of dabbling in all of them. So
yeah.
But no, tonight we're just doing that. So yeah. But listen, thanks for coming on our show last week, guys, and good luck for the rest of the season. And appreciate the invite tonight. And
of course.
I just realized actually while watching the game the other night, actually I was like, I've been to Bournemouth before. I was like, on a trip to France. We were traveling by boat. I was like, yeah, that's right. Well, Bournemouth was where we stayed. So, but I don't think he's been in the Premiership then. That was back about 2010 or so. So
definitely wouldn't have been in the.
We wouldn't have been no.
Yeah. But
funny enough, you're probably talking to the two biggest Bournemouth fans that don't live in Bournemouth. So I'm actually closer up near you, and Malcolm's in Berlin. So it's an interesting one. But look, we appreciate you being on. And
no worries. Well, like I said, have a good rest of the season, guys, and I'll talk to you again.
Thanks, Stephen.
All the best to you, Steve. Thanks for joining us, mate.
Thanks, lads.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Awesome. Yeah, please do go and follow his shows, especially if he's only been on for 5 months. Any support, follows, likes, subscriptions, any interest whatsoever, go and give him your support. Seems like a lovely chap. So hopefully we see Stephen again. Malcolm, let's get into the Premier League with no delay. Because there is football starting soon, I believe, isn't there?
Sorry?
There's some football starting soon, isn't there, tonight?
No, I don't think so.
Either way, on to the Premier League. No, there isn't. No. On to the Premier League. Some interesting results. Go for it.
Brighton 2-1 against Liverpool. Wow. Milos Kerkez scored his first goal.
He did. Yeah, he did.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, it's good vision from him, really, and awareness to actually get that. But Liverpool, they're just so up and down, aren't they? It's they're almost Spursy, aren't they? The way they do things. But I mean, Brighton, they didn't give up. They're a battling side, and I thought a draw might come. Be an end result.
Yeah.
But what can you say about Danny Welbeck? He just keeps on doing it, doesn't he? So it's certainly upsetting the apple cart at the top of the table.
He's a quality player. I've mentioned him a couple of times now.
Yeah.
I mean, as you said, Liverpool are playing a ropey game at the moment on 49 points and Chelsea just behind 48. And then you obviously start the flow of the mid-table. Brentford and Everton on 46. Fulham
crazy.
They're really close to being in that mid-table battle. And 5th and 6th place being battled for, which is exciting.
It's very interesting this season, to be honest with you. You've got the first, second place take care of itself, really.
Yeah.
But then you just drop down a little bit, and it's anybody's guess.
Yeah,
it really is. And after this weekend's result, do you think, crikey's, who's going to finish where?
Exactly.
You just cannot, as much as you want to. I mean, I was obviously invited on to Matt's show on the sidelines with Paul from Oz, and during the relegation battle.
Yeah.
Now, after this weekend, you just can't think. We don't know anything about football. That is it in a nutshell. Obviously, Burnley lost, which we said they're going to go down, and Wolverhampton Wanderers will go down. I mean, I stayed up. I watched 4 games actually Saturday, and Everton absolutely plastered Chelsea.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll
come to that in a minute. Considering that Everton struggle at home in their new stadium, but they just steamrolled Chelsea. They really did. So it was like, wow, look at this. Now, is that a hangover from Champions League football for these clubs?
Yeah.
You have to ask the question. But, with the squad that they got, the players they got, there's no reason why they shouldn't, be able to compete. And then I watched that most drab 0-0 Leeds Brentford, and it really was drab. Leeds can't score goals at the moment. A little bit disappointed with Brentford because they just offered very little going forward, which is unlike them because they're normally quite an attacking force.
Yeah.
But it was just one of those games where you think, right, okay, settle for the point. Obviously, for Leeds, a point isn't enough. The 3 would have been really useful. But then we move on to Sunday, Wow. Newcastle 1, Sunderland 2.
Oh, that was quite a thriller, wasn't it? That was a good game, that.
It was a really excellent game to watch. I mean, we're football lovers, and so we know, when an intense battle and a derby of that caliber. Newcastle came out of the blocks flying, got an early goal. What a mess up from the Sunderland keeper and defender. Should never happen in the Premier League, but it does occasionally. But Sunderland came out in the second half, destroyed Newcastle, which, in their backyard, unbelievable stuff. And they thoroughly deserved it over 90 minutes. So they've done the double, the kings of the Northeast this season.
Yes, indeed,
really, really.
I hear it didn't cause, it caused actually quite a lot of dramas on the streets, unfortunately, by the sounds of things.
Yes, I did hear that,
Yeah, which obviously no one likes to see or hear. But you are right, it was a big historical derby, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think things were going to happen had it have gone that way. But kudos to Sunderland. Really big
absolutely.
Kudos. Yeah. And that healthily puts them in 11th on 43 points, a point above us, and a point above Newcastle as well. So I'm pretty sure they're at the minute.
They're more than happy, aren't they, Mackhams? Yeah. So Villa winning 2-0. I didn't see any of that game, obviously, because I was watching another interesting match. So West Ham apparently didn't turn up, but okay, they'll come back in. In this relegation battle, obviously after the following game that we talk about, it's anybody's guess. It really is. Good for Villa. They've found another 3 points, because I'd hate to see them drop down to maybe Europa League or whatever. I really would like to see them get in Champions League.
Yeah.
But obviously, having the injuries they've had, one thing and another, hopefully they can now, weather the storm and, pick up points to cement maybe 4th place, which I think is more than likely. Yeah. And the final game, obviously, Tottenham getting battered at home by Nottingham Forest. So what can you say about that?
Not the easiest next fixture for them either. Thanks, Paul Moz.
Thanks for that, Paul. No, it isn't.
Next game against Sunderland.
It's okay. I mean, we've got to talk about the Spurs game. A really sort of surprise in many ways because of the starting lineup they started with. Tottenham, 2 of their best players, at least 2 on the bench. I can't understand why they started them on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Bearing in mind, pre-kickoff, and we're only talking about Premier League now, Notts Forest couldn't score for love of money. And then suddenly, bang, 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 they get 3. Okay, Tottenham played pretty well, really, first half, but without being clinical and creating too many chances. But right at the end of the first half, corner comes over and bang, free header. 1-0 to Forest from Igor Jesus. And I'm thinking, wow, where did that come from? Forest, they defended with everything. They got a couple of their centre backs. I'll just have a look their names here to get them right. Murillo, absolutely beast, and Milenkovic. Now those 2 guys, they just sort of repelled everything that came across. Really brilliant performance, and Sells in goal.
Yeah.
I mean, he made one blinding save. It was a fingertip thing, but wow.
Gibbs doing well as well, I hear. Gibbs White had a good game.
Yeah. I mean, he was obviously instrumental in, in the attacking part of the game. Anderson as well. You know, I mean, when it clicks with Forest, they're really good, but it hasn't clicked often enough for them this season for whatever reason.
Well,
it's an odd thing when you think what they did last season. You know,
I think
how they.
It's ownership, right? Because we've seen them go through 3 management changes. One of them in the first 8 days or something bloody ridiculous because of it.
Yeah.
I think there's a number of things, you know, that have. But you're right. We've seen what Forest can do and what they can achieve and how they can play. You're right. Last season they were one of the Trump teams. You know.
Yeah. But I think it also, you know, that's going to give them more than a big incentive to move on, you know, and try and get away from this relegation battle. No easy games. There's no given in the Premier League at all. But as for Spurs, when the second goal went in, you know, you could see totally deflated.
Yep.
And it was really strange because pre-kickoff, the club had asked all the fans to get together in the streets, and apparently thousands lined the streets with flares and flags and everything. But when the team bus came in, and the fans played their part, and I mean pre-kickoff in the stadium, you know, they were all singing and cheering, and it was loud. But you know, the players gave nothing back.
No,
and that must be so disappointing.
Yeah.
I mean, Tottenham in a cheap place to go for a game. You know, if you've got a day out with a ticket and you want to eat there, it's not cheap.
No, travel inside central London, all of it.
And if you're a Spurs supporter, you know you got to put your hand in your pocket, mate. You have it, and to be dished up that load of tripe on the field. I'm sorry, you just like, yeah, okay, you got Tudor, I think some of his substitutions got a little bit wrong. But I mean, I'm not the manager, but I mean, it's his choice.
And look, I think five losses and a draw out of 6 games for Tottenham.
Yeah.
Only certain expectations that you can have in the table, isn't there?
I don't think it's down to the manager.
No, not necessarily. No.
You know, because Thomas Frank was in there a long time. Yes, perhaps they could have got rid of him a bit earlier if they wanted to. But to bring in an interim and throw the blame on him when the players aren't performing anyway. So you do have to look at the players.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, if you're a Spurs fan, you'd have been absolutely gutted. I mean, I can understand why, you know, many leave the stadium quite early. I can understand that.
Yeah. Same.
Considering how, you know, I mean, 2026 in the Premier League, they haven't won it. They haven't won a game. No,
that's crazy. It's crazy. But enough of Spurs. Enough of the Premier League. You've had your football fill for tonight, you lucky sods.
One more bit of Cherries news, if you want to finish off.
Oh, go on, because that's a good bit actually. Yeah, go on.
So the under-21s today, they won 3-2 away at Sheffield United at Bramble Lane. Excellent game. I'm lucky enough to watch it live. So they are now cemented their second place in the Southern Professional Development League. Sheffield United are actually leading the way in the Northern Development League.
Yeah, really.
So really excellent result. 1-0 down at half time, came out of the blocks in the second half, 10 minutes, 3 goals. Bang, bang, bang. Wonderful stuff. And I'm sure that'll be up on the Afcb channel at some point, probably tomorrow.
I'd imagine so. Yeah, I'd imagine so. Do go and check that out. Yeah, because that's again bloody awesome news. We've got some really great stuff going on in the youth teams, the academy, the women's teams. Yeah, it's all going on at the moment. Now
the women have got their cup final, haven't they, the weekend?
They do indeed. Yeah.
Loftus Road.
Keep your eyes out for that as well. Yeah. Next season, you will be hearing much more from me and Malcolm about all of those other little bits anyway. So do stay tuned for updates on that. But for now, you won't be seeing us, unfortunately, until what looks like the 13th of April. And even then, I think it might just be Mal because I'm in Poland on a holiday. So you might not see me until the 20th of April, which is a whole month away. It's crazy. Maybe we'll do something in between because I know that you lovely people our faces.
If you're going to be in Poland, hop over here and we'll do it here on my place.
Do it together somewhere. Yeah. But for now, as always, Cherries fans, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being in the chat. Thank you for live viewing. Please enjoy the rest of your Monday and the rest of your week. And as always, up the Cherries.
Thanks, Ollie. Thanks, everybody. And have a good evening.
TalkSport Fan Network.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things...
I should be like you, Mel.